These new fantasy anime have surprisingly familiar settings. We dug into fantasy anime and fantasy in general that was came from our everyday life. Stories of magic, far-off places, and strange creatures provide us respite for the modern world, but sometimes a series can surprise you. And a show that has all the earmarks of a faraway land is shockingly close to home. Here's a trio of new series that, despite their otherworldly setting, strike a familiar chord with us. Which ones have you seen, and which ones will you be trying out? Kamikatsu, working for God in the godless world. Due to its repeated delays, spring fantasy anime Kamikatsu, working for God in the godless world, is spilling over into the summer season. This strange offering is an isekai with unique attributes from its interesting artistic choice, see above, to its bizarre story arcs. Kamikatsu is absolutely ridiculous. We can look away, especially since this world looks increasingly familiar, and for many reasons. After being sacrificed by his cultist dad, Yukito wishes to be reborn in a world with no gods. He's whisked away by Mitama, the god of his family cult, to just such a world. But in the absence of deities, a corrupt government has taken over. Yukito invents religion, trying to a comfortable and attractive civilization to power Mitama up with followers. But the reasons of modernity expand beyond Mitama manifesting electricity and cars, as we find in the mid-season twist. Yohane the Parleon, Sunshine in the Mirror, the Love Live franchise is leaping into the fantasy anime ring, but despite what the original art pieces may have conveyed, Yohane the Parleon Sunshine in the Mirror exists in a world shockingly similar to our own. There's magic, they are taking animals, and their outfits that will be a greater D&D character in SPO, but the world of the show is more AU than high fantasy. When we first encounter Yohane, she's in a big city skyscrapers, payphones, and cars, chasing her idle dreams. When she returns home, things settle into a more Ghibli world building style. It's an interesting mix of inspirations, but where it will lead. We have to keep watching and see what this alternate world holds for the girls of Aquarius. Level 1 Demon Lord and One Room Hero. When you talk about fantasy anime heroes and demon lords, the most modern thing you expect to see is a high schooler who's been isekai'd over. But in the case of Level 1 Demon Lord and One Room Hero, humanity has evolved and these fantasy humans have evolved pretty much exactly as we have, to the point that Max, the hero turned shut in, is almost indistinguishable from a modern real world outdude. In the decades since the Demon Lord was defeated, the human kingdom was advanced considerably. Not all of Max's recent shame lives on the fantasy internet, House of Fantasy YouTube. Fortunately, the Demon Lord is so intent on whipping his former rival back into shape that is willing to play a babysitter for a bit, want something more hands-on. These mobile games are based on your favorite anime.